Why do you answer some people in seconds, but leave others waiting for hours, even when your phone is already in your hand? That delay isn't always about being busy. Sometimes it's the loudest thing you never say. Your phone lights up, you read the message, you even start typing. Then you stop. You lock the screen. 5 minutes become 50. By tomorrow, replying somehow feels even harder. You've told yourself it's because you needed the right words. But deep down, you know you already had them. People think replying late is about forgetting. It rarely is. Some people don't delay because they don't care. They delay because caring suddenly feels dangerous. The closer someone gets, the more every message starts feeling like a test. Not ignoring, just protecting something they can't explain. They reread simple texts like they're searching for hidden meanings. A single okay, a period at the end of a sentence, a reply that came 10 minutes slower than yesterday. Tiny things become evidence, not because they're dramatic, just because silence has hurt them before. And that's where the habit quietly begins. Not with one late reply, with one conversation that changed what replying started to mean. The strange part, most people around them never notice what's really happening. They only see the delay. They completely miss the reason behind it.
Late replies usually aren't about time. They're about emotional weight. The person who answers everyone else instantly somehow freezes when it's someone they actually care about. The message isn't difficult. The feelings attached to it are. Not unavailable, just overwhelmed. Watch what happens after they finally press send. They don't relax. They stare at the screen, waiting, checking, refreshing, wondering if they said too much or too little. The conversation ends in their head long before it ends on the phone. Not anxious, just preparing for disappointment before it arrives. Then something changes. The delay becomes part of who they are. Friends joke that they never text back. Partners think they're losing interest. Coworkers assume they're unreliable. So they start apologizing before anyone even complains. Sorry for the late reply, again and again, until apologizing becomes automatic. Not rude, just carrying guilt that nobody asked them to carry. Here's the part almost nobody notices. Sometimes replying quickly feels more vulnerable than saying nothing at all. A fast reply reveals excitement, interest, hope. And hope has a terrible reputation inside people who've been let down enough times. So they slow themselves down on purpose. Not to manipulate anyone, to avoid looking like they needed someone more than they were needed. Not playing games, just hiding attachment. That's why they'll spend 20 minutes rewriting a 2-word response. Delete, rewrite, delete again. Not because the message matters, because what it might reveal does. Every sentence feels permanent. Every emoji feels like evidence. Every reply feels like a version of themselves they'll never get back. Then comes the habit nobody talks about. The longer they wait, the heavier the reply becomes. Now it's awkward. Now they have to explain. Now they feel embarrassed. So they wait even longer. 1 hour becomes 1 day. 1 day becomes a week. And eventually they convince themselves it's too late to answer at all. Not avoiding people, just trapped by the weight of unfinished conversations. The cruel part is this. The people they care about most usually receive the slowest replies, not because they're least important, because losing them feels most possible.
Everyone assumes people who reply late don't value connection. Sometimes the opposite is true. Connection matters so much, they become terrified of damaging it with one wrong sentence. The silence isn't always rejection. Sometimes it's fear wearing the same clothes. Some people disappear from conversations because they're trying not to disappear from someone's life. Read that again. The person leaving you on read might already be reading your last message for the 5th time, trying to sound calm, trying not to sound needy, trying not to repeat whatever taught them that caring too openly comes with a cost. Not distant, just defending themselves from a wound you can't see. So the next time someone takes forever to answer, don't only ask why they waited. Ask yourself, what kind of life teaches someone that even replying feels risky? Because the habit didn't begin with a notification. It began with someone making them regret answering too quickly. Have you ever delayed replying to someone you actually wanted to talk to? And what were you really afraid would happen? If you want to understand people, subscribe to MindMorsels.